With that, let's talk about some cryptos. We're just gonna highlight three that supposedly plummeted today or took a little tank, and that's gonna be Dogecoin,
Just a
XRP,
little
and
tank.
Uniswap. And by little tank, they're saying 7%. As of 9:30 IST, guys, 7% is nothing in the crypto market. That's barely going to the restroom and coming back. Um, but because they are being highlighted, we're just gonna check their charts out just to see what a real tank looks like. So I popped up each one of them. We're just looking at their month only because what I want to see is a
I guess it
tank.
also depends on your time frame because like Ripple in the last month is down like 50, 60%. I mean, down today 7, but that's the tail end of like a down 50.
Yeah, and so that's where I wanted to show just what the month floor was compared to what this tank is. And so we have Dogecoin here. We have a floor of 17 cents, I believe. Yeah, 17 cents. And oops, that one did something wrong. Okay. We had
Draw
a
your
floor of,
support and resistance.
yeah, 17
You know,
cents. And now we just touched back down to 19 cents. And this is, will it continue heading down? That's the ultimate question. Is this just breathing? I'm not really I'm not really batting an eye until I'm seeing more than 15% on some of these. And especially Dogecoin, it could lose 50%. And that's something that's going to have a very high risk. It has a high volatility. So if this loses 50%, I still wouldn't think it's dead. At the same time, I wouldn't be, throwing a bunch of money in there only because you do see how big the drops are. But it's
I think
kind of
it's also important to note something. Cryptocurrencies aren't stocks. They're not tied to companies. See, if a company stock
correct.
gets too low and the company doesn't do well, it disappears. The float disappears from existence because there's no company to back that asset. Cryptocurrencies don't have any assets. Cryptocurrencies aren't backed by anything. They are basically, think of the stock market and all of assets as an ocean, and think of cryptocurrency as lily pads that sit on top. So as long as there's people willing to pay for it, there's no reason for the market to disappear solely because Dogecoin can be worth 0.0000001 cents, but unless everybody who uses that blockchain suddenly dies and their computers explode and it doesn't exist anymore, it will probably still exist. So yeah, it probably won't ever die. But can it get really, 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 really low? Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Very, very possible. And so here we have a market ranking of 8. Let's go on and check XRP. XRP is still one that's hard to get inside of the United States. They're still being regulated and restricted on most exchanges. You can receive them, you just can't purchase them. But if we're looking at what it's done over the last month, this one has been incredibly volatile. It already dropped down to 52. Um, it looks like late June, and so it's been picking up. It's breathing, but as we look at here, it looks like this is like a little bit of a floor. If it can bounce off of like 58, I'm not too worried about Ripple. It looks like it's back up to 60 from its 7% plunge. Is now back only to what, 5%. And so XRP, it's just interesting that they even highlighted these. What I liked the most about them is that all these charts kind of look the same. You have this little dip, and then you have it breathing, and then it's now testing a floor, trying to find its support.
If you look
But
at all of these things out in terms of like a year or two chart daily, they all look like bubbles.
oh yeah,
Every one of them looks like a bubble.
and the
Every one
last
of them.
one, the last one is one that I wanted to check out because Uniswap has hurt me personally. I did buy in at a yeah.
Not gonna lie, Josh, I'd love to watch you lose.
This one definitely hurt, but it was also one of those that I was just like, you know what, I already lost enough that if it rose, and this is an exchange, this is something that trades cryptocurrencies. If you're interested in some of the smaller capped cryptos that aren't on the main exchanges, Uniswap is the place to go. You create your MetaMask wallet, you connect it to your Uniswap, and then from there you have access to any number of smaller coins. As in, like, that's also where I bought my Shiba Inu. And so if that's I was looking at it as an exchange. I was just like, you know what, this it could go somewhere. It has obviously not gone anywhere, but we are looking at this in the losers charts, and so some of these loser charts are. I also see these as the potential of recovering past what they just lost, and so that's kind of what you got to look for. You also have to see, is there any good news coming up? The reason I bring this up is because we hear about loser cryptos one week, and then we hear about the giant climb that they make the next week. And that what ends up happening is that you look at these cryptos and you're like, oh no, you know what? It's dipping. I'm going to lose out. Well, no, it could actually be getting ready to springboard up. At the same time, it could also get ready to dive down to lows that will never recover. And so these are the games of crypto.
Your analysis always makes me feel just so good. It's like, yo, guys, so you could become a millionaire, or you could be living in a cardboard box at the end of the block. So, you know what?
Hey, it could be a good week and you could have McDonald's, or it could be a bad week and you could have someone else's McDonald's from the trash can. And so
is McDonald's as good as it gets? Josh is like, the best you can get is
the best you can get.
That's it.
It's gonna be one of them chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A.
What if I want Chipotle? No, you get McDonald's.
What'd you say? What'd you say?
Fuck out of here.
Well,